Walking. I've been watching the weather forecast in the last couple of days, and it seems like it's gotten better and better. And I think we're going to have some showers this afternoon, but so far it looks pretty nice, huh? So, welcome to the first Dream Tree project, A Mile in My Shoes Walk-a-thon. I'm going to read from my script here, so I don't go hum and haw too much. And it's a great day for walking. We know that there are many, many, many good and worthwhile causes to support in our community. And we thank you, we being the kids at Dreamtree, the staff, the board of directors, and all the volunteers that work on this. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for you to choose this event and support us this way. This is just great. We all know how important this work is in our community. So thank you very much. So be very careful. Along the way, there will be signs to read, stories to tell. There will be watering holes and porta potties on the way. Porta potties are party potties are located at mile marker 2, 4, and 6. So you know that, and the water and other stuff are at the same locations, and then there will be signs at every mile. So look out for those things; they can't be missed. Let's see now. Anyone who's the runner should line up behind the banner, and then when the photo opportunity is done, we're taking the pictures, then the runner should go up front and they can run, and we all line up behind them and walk. Without further ado, let me introduce co-directors of Dream Tree Project, Cami Hartman and Kim Treiber.
Hi everybody, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. It's awesome to see you all out here. We're psyched that it's sunny. I want to introduce our youth here today, and if you see them, please get to know them. They're awesome human beings. This is Brian over here. This is David, Chris, John, Lorenda. This big guy is Sunny. This is Alice and Vanessa. And this is Kim, if you don't know.
This is Cami. And I just want to say that this is Cami's brainchild. She came up with this really cool idea to not only do the walk-a-thon, but have each of us become a youth that might need a shelter, or just to educate and have some compassion for what takes place in a youth's life, to have them get to the place where they might need Dreamtree or anyone's services that are providing youth programs. So I'm going to let Cami plug herself a little bit.
Morton mentioned your t-shirts. Each one of you has a beautiful t-shirt made by Viva Sports. Each color will correspond to a sign. So as we're walking about 8.10, 8/10 of a mile, you'll see the first set of signs. If you are green, for example, you read the green signs as you go along, and every step you take, you will be that young person and kind of live the experiences that they've lived. And just want to say that every step you take brings us that much closer to opening an emergency youth shelter. So give yourselves a humongous hand.
Okay, so we just want to really thank our community, and we have 3 representatives of our community. Hi, April. We have 3 fabulous representatives of our community that are going to just say a couple of words of blessings for not only the shelter, but for all of us here today, giving your time and your energy and your well wishes to this project. So first I'd like to introduce Steve Wired.
Cam, and thank you, Cami, and the board and all the people that are here to support the effort. I just want to say that a wise friend told me once that there's a sacredness about place, time, and people And I believe that. I believe there's a sacredness at this place, at this bridge. And we come to offer blessings and hope. Sometimes people have come to this place and they felt desperate. The emergency shelter for teenagers is going to be a place where folks don't have to feel so desperate. They know they have a place. Every one of us needs a place. And the tree house is going to be that place for a lot of teens over the years. And that's why it's very special. The timing is always important. And we're grateful for this time together. And the other thing is people. People make it special in so many ways, you and all the people, yet we don't know who be staying in that tree house. And that people all over the world walk for peace. And today, you're walking for a place that's going to be finished, a shelter, a place so people who are there will find their own peace. And I think that's very special. Go in peace and bless you, and thank you for everything you've done.
And I'd like to introduce Lydia Garcia, who is going to give us a blessing in Spanish.
Gracias, Padre Celestial, por toda tu hermosura, por todas tus bendiciones, Padre. Gracias por todo este hermoso día. Gracias te damos, Señor, por nuestro valle, nuestro monte, el río y toda la gente que trajiste hoy para que hace una realidad para el árbol de sueño. Que sigan soñando y que sigan sus sueños de verdad para servir a todos los niños que necesitan tu ayuda, Jesús. Te pedimos en tu santo nombre que bendigas a cada persona que está aquí hoy y a su familia, que vengas con ellos a caminar para que completen este día con su interés de este sueño que tienen para estos niños, para las criaturas que necesitan tu ayuda, Cristo Jesús. Te pedimos todo en tu bendito nombre. Amén. Dios
Thank you. And I'd like to introduce Mike Concha, and I'd also like to thank the Pueblo Runners for joining us today.
Good morning. It's a nice morning today. I'm very glad to be here to see all of you nice folks over here, healthy young people, and so. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for participating in this event. It's a very, very important event that you are participating in, which allow for some of you folks to be in a dream tree house all through your life, or so, halfway. So now I'm going to bless and pray for you folks in my Taos Pueblo language. Y amen ook met een behoort om en dan kan hem wel kunnen. Porque ya como he mamen tuyone he men tuyone na ucho me fo. Que dan ya no vamos a kana wel kunnen. Kuela na no como kuela na y se gamen como me kana wel kunnen. Ya te tom mele como mele no tom como viene mele no bueno Thank you very much, and may God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
John's right here, dog. You guys, when we get up to the road, stop and let everybody gather up behind us. Yeah. All right here? I thought we were going to do it right before. Yeah, there too, but we want to do a big march for us.
Touch pads, you got a 65.
Be like prepared. Mess up. I quit.
How did this walk-a-thon idea for Dream Tree come about?
We've heard about walk-a-thons being a successful way to raise money for other nonprofits, and one of our major goals was to raise awareness about what homelessness really is about, especially for our young people. So we got the idea to have a walk-a-thon, and we thought we would kind of bring the faces to the public's eye by creating the signs. And along the way, each sign corresponds to the color-coded t-shirts, and they're telling a story of a young person's life. So as somebody walks the walk-a-thon, they actually get to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. And
literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, yeah. So the Dream Tree Project was started as a dream from 7 women, knowing that there was a need in our city to serve youth. There was youth coming out of residential treatment centers, youth coming out of jail, youth living on the streets, or just living in unsafe environments. And these 7 women decided that there needed to be more services in our community. So we started the Dream Tree Project, which is a transitional living program for homeless youth, ages 16 to 24, male and female. The youth live in our program, receive counseling, and the whole goal is independence. So they work on life skills, they get jobs in the community, they're expected to continue their education and be involved in the community. As we so well know, it takes a community to make things happen, and Dream Tree was created by donations from the public, grants, and lots of love and hard work, and we believe it's important to give back. So all of our young people participate in fundraising as well as giving back to the community. This walk-a-thon is important for us because the next goal, or the next step in the Dream Tree Project's legacy, is to start an emergency youth shelter. This shelter will serve young people ages 13 to 17, short-term stay and middle-of-the-night crisis for those youth who may be suicidal, may be experiencing abuse at home, or be unsafe for any reason whatsoever. They can come to the Dream Tree Project just for a couple hours or even a couple of weeks. And the new name of our shelter is going to be the Tree House, and we're pretty excited to get that underway.
What was really exciting about the walk-a-thon was after we got through with it, everybody was pretty jazzed about becoming a youth, and I think if they didn't previously understand maybe what our youth experience along the way, or what happens to a kid when they are in crises, I think the signs along the way really helped people step into that and have some compassion. And from what I heard, people were discussing along the way, in between signs, who they were and what their person was experiencing, and really delving into some philosophical discussions about maybe social issues, moral issues, values. How are we taking care of our youth, and what are we doing about it? And the really great part was that everybody who participated in this walk-a-thon, not only walkers but everyone who made it possible, really gets to participate in the creation of the treehouse.
Did you mention young people from the center walked with the people?
8 of us? We had all of our youth participating, all 8 of our youth, and we're going from a program, our original Dream Tree program, Transitional Living, serving 8 youth at a time. When we're into the treehouse, we'll be able to serve 24 youth at a time from the ages of 13 to 24. So we're essentially tripling our capacity and our programming in 1 year, and it's overwhelming and it's exciting, and we couldn't do it without the community's support.
You mentioned earlier that you support the young people that come through the Project for Life. Mm-hmm. How does that work?
What we do with the Dream Tree Project, or what our intention is to create a family, an extension of themselves that they can always come back to for support anytime. So if a young person has been in our program ever, we offer aftercare services, and that involves case management, therapy, or just helping hand into finding other resources. And
we find so far that every youth that has come through our doors does want to have continued contact and calls us up to tell us about accomplishments. Sometimes calls us up to say, "Oh, I got in trouble," but actually the latter is pretty few and far between. Most kids are finding their way in the world, and they know that we're always there to support them if they stumble.
Well, I understand that the Dream Tree project began about 6 years ago, and the two of you were the co-founders and the co-directors. How did that come about?
Well, as Cammie mentioned before, there was originally 7 of us, 7 women who realized there was a gap in services in Taos County and northern New Mexico, and so actually 7 of us began meeting regularly. We all had other jobs, and we were all doing this just to see where it would go. And so over the course of a year, we got a HUD grant, and we were given a home to renovate to turn into the Dream Tree project. And along the way, circumstances came about that people did what they could do, and then they needed to move on into another area. And so Cammie and I were the ones who stuck it out. And originally we thought we would have, we were actually interviewing to hire an executive director after we had been putting this together. And we realized during the interviewing process we were kind of getting, we didn't see anybody we necessarily wanted to hire. Mostly because we looked at each other and said, well, gosh, we've been doing this for a year. We've essentially been doing it together for a year. And so we went to our board of directors and we said, we want a shot at this. We want to co-direct. And co-directing is not a widespread concept in especially large organizations or corporations. And our board said, okay, we'll give you a whirl. And so we've been doing it ever since.
Okay, how large a board does the project have?
We have an 8-member board, and they're all just wonderful and super helpful. Lots of areas of expertise, some in youth programming, some in being therapists, and we have a lawyer, we have an HR person, we have insurance lady. We've got it kind of covered, but mostly our board really is passionate about the work we're doing, and that's what makes them an amazing board.
And it's the support of this community that's helped provide the foundation for you to do this.
Yeah, I would say about 1/3 of our budget comes from federal funding, and another 1/3 from foundations, and then the other 1/3 is from individuals in our community and countrywide now. But our community stepping forth, responding to our fundraising letters, our newsletter, our fundraising events, and just seeing the need and feeling passionate enough to give whatever they can. And people give from $10 to $10,000 and more, and it's just, it's amazing. It's been an amazing journey to see our community support this project.
Well, my name is Mitchell Kirshner, and I'm a healthcare provider in town. And so we're here as a big part because one of our members, Jason, who's also one of the counselors over at Dream Tree, who helped organize all of this, asked if we would participate as search and rescue team to offer support to the people walking. We have several members. A couple of them are in the van driving in case somebody needs to be picked up, which they just brought in a van load, and we have a couple of other members just driving back and forth to be checking on people, and we have several water stations set up, all to assist in all the walkers.
Okay, and
I'm Deborah Cripps, and live here in Taos as well. I am an operating room nurse, and pretty much what Mitch said, give back to the community, because it's sure given a lot to me.
Okay, first of all, how did you come up with the idea?
The walk-a-thon itself came from the idea of trying to raise funds for the emergency youth shelter, but also to raise awareness about the needs of homelessness, and especially homeless youth in our community, and what our community was really lacking. We felt like it would be the best to try to give the public an idea of what our youth experience on a day-to-day basis, or maybe some of their life experiences, because it's truly, I think, misunderstood sometimes why kids who are in gangs or kids who get in trouble. And there's long histories, and usually intergenerational histories of abuse that cause them to be in despair and kind of lost, basically. And our goal was to educate the community about those lives and let them know that they're not bad people. They've just had some bad circumstances. And as each walker walked for the walk-a-thon, they got to be that individual for the day, hoping to incorporate compassion into what they were doing and motivate them to want to help in a bigger way.
It'd be difficult to walk for a mile with a young person without you picking up some empathy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I would say too, I mean, we're talking a lot about compassion, which is huge in the whole process. I would also say that we have really high expectations at the Dream Tree Project. We believe that all kids are great, all people, our humans are great, and that we expect greatness from our kids. We have high standards, and they have to work, they have to go to school, they have to do chores around the house, they have to participate in the community. If they want to embrace what we have to offer, we're right there with them, but we let them know that we expect them to participate at a high level because they're capable of that. And in fact, what everyone is knowing now is that folks don't gain self-esteem by just taking and receiving. You've got to give back. It's got to be a back and forth kind of thing. You have to feel like you're a member of your community to feel like you're worth participating in community events and not vandalizing or harming the community. It's about building that. So I think that's a big piece of what Dream Tree tries to do. There's compassion and understanding. There's also high expectations.
Closing comment for the...
Well, we just really want to thank our community for coming out. They made us proud on September 10th, 2006 by showing up, by walking, by sponsoring. Our board of directors helped, volunteers helped. It was unbelievable. Beautiful day, beautiful people, and without this community, Dream Tree wouldn't be where it's at.
Come out next year. It's annual.
All right. That's good.